Happy Bulletproof Monday. It's Susan Sly, and I hope you are having an outstanding day. If you're here live, I love that. I do these lives every Monday. During the summer, they're at 2 Pacific, but as we go into winter, Arizona doesn't change our time, so they're at 1 Pacific. And today I'm going to be talking about tests before you invest, things you want to know, you must know before you go spend money on advertising or invest in a business. And I'm going to be giving you 6 specific tips. So hold on, it's going to be awesome. I do these Bulletproof Mondays every Monday, and they're designed to help people just like you who are either in business or want to invest in a business. It doesn't matter what kind of business you're in. All of these principles really transcend. I also bring in the topics of work-life balance. I specialize in teaching organization. And as a mom of 5, and juggling the balls in the air like many of you, and I have multiple businesses, bringing you stuff from my real life as well. And I don't mind getting vulnerable with you. I'm definitely not perfect, but I'm here to serve. So with that, just a couple quick things before we get into test before you invest. I am going to be doing an event in Las Vegas on December 7th. It is a one-day event. And here's the thing, have you ever wanted to get more comfortable doing presentations, whether it's a Zoom presentation, a one-on-one presentation, a stage presentation, any form of presentations, being one of those people who comes off as confident? So many people are like, oh, you're so good on stage. It's years and years and years of training. On this one-day event, Sales Nirvana, I'm actually going to teach you, and don't be misled by the name. It's named very specifically, obviously. During this one-day event, I am going to be teaching you NLP techniques for how to rock your stage, rock your personal meetings, whether you're generating investors for your startup or whether you're doing a network marketing presentation. It is going to be awesome. There is a 5-step process we use in NLP. I'm going to be teaching you how to use embedded commands, the 16 yes close. It's insane. And then Emmy award-winning actor Riel Andrews is going to be there teaching you how to get comfortable on camera. So that event, salesnirvana.com, that's where you get tickets. It is going to be amazing. Now, just so you know, anyone who's on my list is going to be able to go to that event at a discount. So if you're not on my list, go to susansly.com, get on the list, because I'm also going to be offering another special when we do a 36-hour sale this week. So definitely check that out. All right, let's get into it. So you've got it. How many of you have ever had an idea? Like you've had an idea and you're like, oh, it's a product. It's I'm going to start a company. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to start consulting. Or maybe you watch one of those videos on YouTube and you're like, I'm going to build a sales funnel. I'm going to make all this money. Yeah, right. It happens. And it's interesting because every week these Bulletproof Mondays are inspired by things that happen in my real life. So I'll tell you a story. Last week, I was at a dinner party. And a friend of mine who's very, very well known, he comes up to me, he's bouncing, he's all excited. Susan, oh my gosh, I've been asked to start this company and these 2 guys are billionaires and they want me to run the company. And, here's my concept and I think it's going to be so amazing. And I look at him and I'm like, not going to work. He's like, I just said, listen, with the economic corrections, let's call it a recession, people are not going to spend money on a continuity program that does that. You don't have anything consumable in there. I said, sweetheart, not going to work. And I said, I could be wrong, but if you want to build a $1 billion company in that space, direct selling, it's not going to work. He's like, I told this person and that person and this person, they all said it was a great idea. You're the first one who's been negative. I said, honey, I'm not being negative. I'm just being honest. It's not going to work. And I explained why. And I said, again, there is an outside chance, but I personally don't think it's going to work. And so that was the inspiration for today's topic, because sometimes we have an idea and we think it's going to be amazing. We're going to join a company. We're going to start a franchise. We're going to invest in a business. We're going to do whatever it is. We're going to build funnels. And we think it's going to be so amazing. And the reality is it might not be. And so I want to take you through some specific steps that will allow you to test before you invest. And I'll begin with a story. So how many of you have seen Star Wars, any of the Star Wars movies? Just say yes in the chat. Hi, Juliana. How many of you have seen Star Wars? Any Star Wars fans there? So with Star Wars, the first ones like The Empire Strikes Back and, all of those ones, those were the classic ones. And I remember going to the drive-in movie theater with my dad in the late 70s and seeing the very first Star Wars. It was like so amazing. So after Star Wars, what was the next one? The next one that came out were that new series, the ones with Hayden Christensen, Natalie Portman, and here's the thing. If I say to a group of people, who is the most irritating character in that whole trilogy, beyond a shadow of a doubt, 9 times out of 10, everyone says Jar Jar Binks. Does anyone know who I'm talking about? You saw Star Wars. So Jar Jar Binks, if you don't know who that was, he was this character. He had these long floppy ears, and he I don't know if I could do a Jar Jar example. Me so happy, see you. Like he would talk like this, and he was like in the first of that trilogy. He was in it all the time. And George Lucas was really passionate about Jar Jar Binks. And what happened was George Lucas went to all of his inside people. He's like, I want to do this character, Jar Jar Binks. And he talked about him, and everyone told him it was a great idea. Everyone told him. And even though a lot of them thought it was a horrible idea because he was George Lucas, they told him it was good because they didn't have the guts to tell him that it didn't make any sense whatsoever. So off he goes and he spends all this money, and it was horrible. No one liked Jar Jar Binks. The movies tanked, and he was one of the big reasons no one liked that character, and like very few people did. And so one of the things that I want to tell you is that you've got an idea, you've got a concept, you don't want it to be a Jar Jar. And so let's walk through these first steps. Okay, so the first thing is create your concept. Now, a concept is a broad idea. It's, a girlfriend just said to me, I'm starting a mastermind. I want to charge $30,000 a year. It's going to be awesome. So she's got a concept. Doing a webinar or a mini class is a concept. You're starting a consulting business. It's a concept. You're going to do some kind of business where you're going to build a sales funnel and you're going to sell something. All that is a concept right now. Does it cost you any money to create a concept? No money to create a concept. The first time I did Sales Nirvana, which I hope you'll all come to my Las Vegas one, the first time I did it, it started out as a concept. And where that concept came from was so many people were saying, oh my gosh, I want to learn NLP, but I don't want to go for weeks at a time and do the certification. I'd like to just do a one-day deep dive. And I was like, I can do that for you. I'm a certified NLP coach and trainer. I can do that for you. And so that's where that concept came from. And so the next thing when we have a concept is just to sort of have that broad concept. And the second thing is that we've now begun to survey people to see if that concept is something they'd be interested in, because ultimately you want to sell something, right? And so if you've got your concept, it doesn't cost you anything to do that, and it also doesn't cost you the second phase, and that is to survey. Where big companies make mistakes and small companies is they come up with an idea, they're so full of themselves, and they think it's going to be amazing, but no one wants what it is they've come up with. And so let me give you an example. There was one of the beer companies, I think it was Coors. They came up with a bottled water. And instead of surveying a group of people and doing everything, they're like, oh yeah, we are already in bottled beverages. We're going to do bottled water. Well, no one wants to buy bottled water from a beer company. There have been all sorts of ideas out there that have failed. They started with a concept, and then the next thing was, okay, the concept didn't really work because they didn't test enough people. There was a laundry do-it-for-you company that started out of Silicon Valley, and Ashton Kutcher, I believe, was one of the early investors. And it was a great concept, but they didn't test enough people, and they didn't do enough testing in the background to sort of figure out, can we deliver it for this price? Can we deliver it expeditiously? And it doesn't matter what kind of concept you have. Even if you're, in network marketing, you can test a concept. Some of the ways you can do it, just doing a post, go into SurveyMonkey, do a survey, get a free account, do a post on your social media. Hey, I'm thinking of doing this, whatever it is, an event is a concept. Would you be interested in coming? What if I did do this event? What are the things you'd like to see? If I did teach this class, what would it be? I'm going to post a video on my YouTube channel at some point, probably next week. So I was in my hotel room Saturday night. I had just done a 500-person event in Toronto, and one of my agency clients, if you want to work with me in digital marketing, my website is theagency8.com. She's like, Susan, we've got this concept. So these two girls, they come to my room and they were telling me about their concept. They bought these different domains. And so I actually walked them through all of the steps. And I said, listen, you guys are really married to this product you're going to create. However, you don't know if it's going to work and you're making a lot of assumptions. And so I said, before you do anything and you build anything and build out all your funnels, do some testing. And that's what they're doing this week. So you can email a list and, do some questions. You can do a post with some questions, but either way, one of the things I tell my clients is you want to get about 100 responses. And the funny thing, going back to this guy and the billionaires and the company and whatever, I said to him, have you surveyed anyone to see if they would buy that particular concept? And he's like, no, I haven't done that yet. And I said, you have to do that because you really think you're excited about this, but just because you're excited doesn't mean people are going to buy it. I have a friend and he literally made $500,000 selling ugly Christmas sweaters for pit bull owners. So they were pit bulls, they were ugly Christmas sweaters. And one of the things he did, he surveyed people, pit bull owners first to see if they would buy it. And the result was like so many people wanted to get ugly sweaters for pit bulls. They did. And he made $500,000. It was just like, poof, funnel. All right, so do the survey. The third step is to socialize your idea. So you got the concept, now you're doing the survey, and socializing means that you're talking to people about your concept. Now, the danger in this is that some of the people you're talking to, unfortunately, they're gonna tell you it's a jar jar. They're gonna say, oh, it's so great, Sue. It's so great, Deborah. Shelly Jean is awesome. Oh, Jess, that's a great idea. But the reason you wanna socialize to at least 10 people is chances are in that group of 10, you're going to have some people who are fairly honest. Now, just because someone doesn't believe in the idea doesn't make them right. But when someone says, hey, I don't know if that's going to work, you can take a look and go, is there any refining? Or, what do my survey results say in comparison to the socialization? So right now, I'm finishing up a pre-Series A funding round for Radius AI, which is the artificial intelligence company that I'm the chief communications officer of. So when we started socializing our idea, it really helped us narrow our focus because now our goal is to help retailers succeed and brick and mortar retailers and help to drive more traffic into those retail stores and save jobs and really help people. And our investors, and almost everyone who's seen our investor presentation has wanted to invest with us because they love the concept. And we also have 5 gas stations, which is the vertical. We have 5 gas stations who are testing it right now, and they're getting great results. So this is not just a concept that's local to one kind of ecosystem business. It's very broad, and every business has to go through this. For example, Blockbuster was so egomaniacal. Netflix came on the scene. People wanted to stream movies from home. Blockbuster, instead of surveying their clients, what they did was like, no, everyone's going to want to come in here and buy the popcorn. I don't care. If you are living somewhere where it's like minus 40 degrees Celsius, I don't care how good the popcorn is. You're going to stay in, rent the movie, and make your own popcorn, aren't you? And that's exactly what happened. And a lot of businesses that close, they make too many assumptions. The next thing is that you're going to want to offer something for free to test the water. So one of the techniques I use is a free masterclass. On January 2nd, I'll be doing a free masterclass for people business owners who want to become more organized. I teach my Organize Your Life for Entrepreneurs in January. And so one of the things you're going to see, I'll be surveying business owners. I'll be saying, okay, what do you want to learn about getting organized? Do you feel that procrastination is a problem for you? And just really digging deep. And then I'm going to, based on the results, based on the socialization, I'm going to create a 90-minute masterclass. And from there, I'm going to be selling my Organize Your Life course. And I just did this with my Business Academy class because it was the second time I taught it. And I surveyed and I thought, oh, everyone wants to know about this particular stuff. But what I realized after my survey, they wanted to know about taxes, legal structures. They want to know about infrastructure of business. So I'm teaching that right now. And because of the results and because of the masterclass and all the feedback, I actually changed the class. And I love it. I have the best students. I'm in love with my students. They're awesome and they're doing great things. And it's the same thing. So it doesn't matter what it is you're doing, offer something for free. This is going to be the best way for you to get feedback. So if you have something really good, a free masterclass, an ebook, a video series, whatever it is that allows you to capture the leads when people get it. And that's why you want to use something. We use Infusionsoft here. If you want to do that, go to the Agency A website and we can help you with that. But you want to be able to take those leads of people who register for your Zoom or whatever it is and to put them and do the follow-up sequence so you can follow up with people who don't buy whatever it is your next offer is. And then the next thing is to get social proof. So one of my clients I'm working with is a life coach and she is certified to the hilt and I'm working with her so that she can grow a 6-figure coaching business next year. And so right now she has a lead magnet where she's doing free 15-minute coaching to help people navigate holiday stress. And from there, when she gets on the phone with them, she has the opportunity to sell them for a coaching package. And we know her avatar is professional women who are burned out, exhausted. They've got their in-laws at their house. They're just going crazy. And so they get a little 15 minutes of like, with my client. Now, the great thing about this is that she is collecting social proof. So anyone who's doing these sessions with her, she's saying, hey, would you mind giving me a testimonial? Would you mind giving me a video testimonial? So she's getting the social proof that she can use in turn to go and further sell what it is that she's going to sell. And social proof, the great thing about that in terms of the testing, you give away something for free. You get the feedback and then you're putting the social proof out there and that's validating what you're doing. And so once you do all of the testing, you do your surveys, you socialize it, you offer something for free, you get the feedback, the testimonials, now you can proceed. And that's where you would spend your money on advertising or pay to have someone build landing pages for you and sales pages and funnels or build them yourself or whatever. But, in the end of the day, I have seen more businesses fail because of assumptions and, not even small businesses, big businesses too, assuming that they know everything and not testing before they really proceed. And right now I'm just finishing up a 1,700 person beta test. So I had this concept in my head, and I'll just quickly share this story for my network marketing business. So I had a concept in my head of something I thought might work. I did some surveying, I socialized the idea, and I got to the point where I was like, okay, I could invest some time, energy, and money into this concept. And so I brought 1,700 people in. We're getting people every single week that are responding to a survey. And the results have been so prolific. Week number 1, 86.4% of people lost weight. By week number 2, they had broken a plateau. It was so prolific that now we have the concept and we're running a whole new challenge starting next week. And that's because I went through and I did all of the stuff I'm telling you. So with that, hopefully today you've got some great content. If this has been great for you, just know I do read your comments. I read your questions. Go ahead and share this if this is helpful. If you have a topic for Bulletproof Monday, go to susansly.com. We have a chat bot on there, some AI, you can chat it in there. And also, I mail the notes from these Bulletproof Mondays to my list. If you're not part of my list, you're missing out on the notes, you're missing out on offers, free classes with me, all sorts of stuff that you only get if you're on my list. And you can go ahead and go to susansly.com, sign up for my list. I do not spam you. I would love to connect with you. So with that, God bless. You guys are awesome. And I will see you next Monday.